Hey y'all, it's Raizu here, and today we're back into Modulo Chapter 7 review. Last chapter we did see that Sukuna looking dude, his name is Dabura, and he's probably on par with Sukuna, right? And we also saw that the kid or the old person, he was way back, so he's old, so him so he was with the Yuji's that he encountered Yuji, and we saw a flashback of Yuji that what could be Yuji, I'm pretty sure it's Yuji. Hopefully this we see more of Yuji and confirm that yes that was him. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Right, so coming into this chapter, we're seeing Usami track down Takeda, that
Oh,
old first grader curse user that we've been following these last couple chapters. In the previous chapter, we saw Maru like
and
going
ice,
berserk on him while
ice
unconscious, and
telekinesis,
before he was able
genjutsu.
to deliver the final blow to him, Tsurugi stepped in, stopping that because he felt that that would have triggered a war between the humans and the Sumerians. And then after that, Cross jumped in, and I guess that
And just
sequence led
paralyzed,
to
knocked
Takeda
both
being
of them
able to
out.
scurry away, which is where we're picking up at the beginning of this chapter. And Usami is able to stop him using curse speech. He actually has
Oh,
like the snake eyes and the
can you
fangs
mock
drawn
these?
on his hand. This is actually a really cool application of using the curse speech. And then of course this raises a ton of questions. It's like, wait, is Usami a Inumaki descendant? Is he a part of that clan? Does
Yeah,
that mean that he actually has this curse technique? I don't know. The Inumaki clan was never really fleshed out or explored all that much in the first series. I mean, go figure. I always thought that Usami was like
testicle
a descendant of
tortician
the
is crazy.
actual Usami. And if you don't know who that is, that's fine because only really like I guess hardcores would know who that character is. I think he's only mentioned once outside of supplementary information, like when Kusakabe is fighting against Sukuna. But his curse technique was the ability to like summon various Shikigami in the form of chess pieces, which can create a pseudo domain
Oh,
marked by squares and lines on the ground or space. Considering that this Usami is not doing that, I guess he's not a descendant of him, and the name is more so just recycled because Gege never fleshed out this guy in the first series. Your guess is as good as mine. But we're coming back to the end of the previous chapter with Cross picking up Tsurugi, and he's like, "What did you just say? Answer me. Did you just say the word neighbors?" And Tsurugi's like, "That's what you
they
guys
don't want
call
to be
it, right?
neighbors?
Maru said it's a friend who understands why the things that matter to you are so important." And Cross is like, "You think we could be neighbors? You do know about this country's history, don't you? What could you humans possibly understand about us?" I know hearing the word neighbors in this context is like weird because we, at least English speakers, know that neighbors doesn't mean what they're talking about here. But according to the Sumerians, it means a friend who understands why the things that matter to you are so important, which is like best friend. Could be like how Nakama is used in One Piece. Nakama could be like comrade or teammate or something like that, but it's more so,
Oh,
I guess, just better to say Nakama since it's like its own thing. But aside from that, Cross really irks me in this chapter because he has
he
like
looks
this weird
terrified.
grudge
Like
against humans
he's
and how
mad
we
at
apparently
somebody.
did something to him. I say we, them, and how we'll never understand what he's going through, what the Sumerians are going through. And it's like, why don't you just tell us? That'll help. We don't know anything about the Sumerians. Why are you here? Why are you refugees? Why are you so upset? Maybe just a little bit of communication would help. I'm not saying you have to lay your emotions out on your sleeve and just show your cards on the table. At least just
Just
give us
talk
a
more.
sentence of why you're here. What happened? That would help, right? Even at the end of this chapter, when he is called out for that, he still says nothing. Then after this, he decides that he wants to send Maru back to the mothership to treat his injuries that he received in the previous fight. Even despite Usami saying no, he's like, no, we're going to send him to the mothership. He assumes that Cross thinks that they're going to try to probe him. No, not probe him, but take biological information from him. Then Cross tries to go undercover as Maru by taking his eye bandage thing and putting it on himself. I guess he's just trying to get further intel or just trying to further see the true intentions of Tsurugi
Now
and
he's
Fuka. Then we're
pretending to be
coming
Maru.
to by far the most interesting part
Sakuri,
of this chapter. And Tsurugi is waking up from
Sarugi.
his, I guess, coma. Because he
When he
was
got
close
knocked
to
out.
death in the previous chapter from, getting stabbed by Takeda and whatever damage he took from Maru. But before he wakes up, we see freaking Mahito. Mahito.
Hold up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. Why Mahito in Modulo? I know me and you, we all saw the Yuji, I'm you, wherever you go. We all saw that in the snow. We all saw Yuji put BT on Mahito. We all saw him get his by Geto. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let me
Is like,
continue real quick,
darn,
bro.
so it's not him after all. And then Tsurugi wakes up. Very hype sequence. So
Because
I
if
assume
Mahito's back, I'm going to need Yuji to pit BTA. He said before, if you come back, I will hunt you down. We all heard it, bro. I'm gonna need Yuji to pit BTA again on Mahito
That this means
for the
that
second time.
Mahito is still chilling in the void that we saw in the last chapter. After Sukuna decided that he was just going to pull a complete 180 out of nowhere and not be the character that he was the entire series and decide to just live in the afterlife with his ladyboy forever or whatever that
Irame.
And it made it seem like Mahito was stuck in that purgatory because he couldn't move on or whatever. Even though Mahito will always be reincarnated essentially as long as there is still curses because he represents
So he got reincarnated.
have of humans themselves.
Does he keep his memories?
That goes into the whole speech about how Yuji said,
Yuji,
even if you keep coming back, I'll always be there to stop
we heard
you.
that. I'm gonna need to see them fight again.
I think what we're coming to here, because him saying, so it's not him after all, he's referring to Yuji. I mean, come on, who else is he referring to? And this is great because it means that Yuji is not dead. I think this confirms that, right?
Yuji's alive.
Is still alive.
So the flashback was right.
Chapter where Yuji is brought up. We saw him in the previous chapter. We saw that back in the day at some point he had fought Takeda. So now, with Mahito saying this, it means Yuji's not dead. And I think this is probably setting up that Mahito is going to come back and then maybe Yuji's going to kill him again. And
that fight.
Sequence.
Oh,
because
man.
Like I also talked about before,
that's going to be so good.
Yuji's going to come back and like save the day at the end of the series. Like he's not going to be the one that defeats Deborah because that's just not how shonen manga work. Like the new pro tags of this series have to be the ones that win in the end. At best, we're going to see Yuji maybe fight Deborah or something, maybe something like that, but he won't defeat him. Actually, I wouldn't even be surprised if Deborah kills Yuji. But anyway, this is cool.
That would
Yuji's still alive.
Yuji dies.
Mahito's probably going to be reincarnated at some point. So we got that to look forward to.
So we got Mahito coming back.
Where Cross
I'm gonna have to see that fight.
Is going with the gang to this amusement park because they were going to show Maru this. And Cross is just angrily depressed, I guess. So of course he's not enjoying this. And he's unable to keep up this facade of trying to be Maru. Because he can't cosplay Tanjiro the way that Maru does. Like he is giving away big hints that he's Cross almost immediately. And I love that Yuka picks up on it because I really would have been upset if Gege just portrayed Yuka as being so stupid that she couldn't figure out that this was Cross and not Maru. And then they go into this long speech about religion and how it works in Japan and how it works overseas and everything. I'm not really going to get into that stuff, but it's also just showing that Yuka is trying to get through to Cross because he has this huge wall up. He has this big vendetta against humanity for some reason.
He hates humans.
Even with him going as far as saying that humans like you have trampled on our way of life without even realizing it. Sometimes by standing idly by, sometimes by outright stealing from us.
What did they steal?
Does that mean? I don't think we're supposed to know yet, but I really hope that this isn't alluding to the fact that cursed energy comes from the Sumerians inherently. Like Tengen or whoever before Tengen somehow interacted with the Sumerians, or it was like a Sumerian that left Sumeria, or whatever the name of their planet is, came to the planet, and then whatever happened with them led to cursed energy and sorcerers and all that stuff. Because if that is the case, that is literally just Naruto and Chakra. But anyway, after this sequence, Yuka asks Cross to come with her to this doctor's appointment. Because, I don't know, she's trying to, like,
coming here already.
Through to him and say, hey, you know, we're not evil the way that you think that we are. And, hey, look at my diagnosis. Because it turns out Yuka has a brain tumor. And she's going to die in 6 months. This came out of left field.
Oh, all right, that's out of nowhere.
Let's see where this is going. And also, the 6 months...
So we got to get her tumor cured as well?
With the lifespan of this series. Because Gege said it was only going to last 6 months or something like that. Even despite that, Cross is really...
Was she dying at the end, or she going to get saved at the end?
Which I guess is expected. And they further have this back and forth until it gets to the point of where Cross is like, don't compare yourself to us. We suffered a man-made disaster, not some illness or unfortunate accident. And Yuka's like, sure, but you said I had my future stolen from me too. Maybe you lost your home, but you won't die. I'm gonna die. And then Cross says, you think you're gonna change my mind because you won a contest of bad luck? It's like, whoa.
I'm saying Cross.
But him saying we suffered a man-made disaster, not some illness or unfortunate accident. I guess that's alluding to how the Sumerian Empire fell and why they had to leave their planet and come to Earth, which Cross is not grateful for at all, and it really irks me. And Yuka's like, it's okay to be upset about how unfair it was, and it's okay to not forget it. So just tell me what happened to you and your people, because we are not your enemies, which is sound logic. I'm appreciate that Gege is using Yuka as this mouthpiece here. And then, of course, Cross just deflects this, doesn't answer anything, and he just continues to be idiotically angry at her. And it goes into them metaphorically talking about stealing and whatnot. And she goes on to say, and how long will you steal for? And Cross says, hating people and stealing from them is easy. And that's why it becomes an endless cycle. And Yuka says, well, let's put an end to all that, Cross. So
he has to
overall,
be
this was a
like
good chapter,
nicer,
but
man.
Cross is just
Complete
so
opposite of Maru.
frustrating that it makes me like
No
not
wonder Yuka found out so
enjoy his
easily.
dialogue, because I just want him to like shut up or get beat up or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But maybe that's
Maru
what Gege
versus Cross.
wants.
Hey,
Hopefully this gets resolved.
that would
in the
be an
next
insane
chapter,
fight,
because
man.
I just want to move on from him.
Maru
He for
actually
sure
beats
has
Cross so
go
bad he
away
turns
from me.
slightly
I don't even
good.
care to see his character arc or his resolution. I just want him off the page. But let me know what you think about this in the comments.
That chapter was crazy. So we got Yuji last chapter, and then now we got Mahito's back being reincarnated. I want to see them fight again. And will Mahito remember his memories? And will Yuji be able to know it's Mahito? We're going to see in future chapters. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to see you on the next one.